Okay, perfect. Hi, everyone. This is Barihan, and I will be here with you today, like Kapil just mentioned. So, we're going through this presentation together, and there will be like around 4 stages in this presentation, and we will go through it together.
Definitely. So just these are the candidates which we have today. So we have Akib Javed. Did I pronounce your name correct, right, Akib?
Yeah, Kapil, right.
Okay, thanks. So he's a freelancer. We have Abhishek Dobaria from Tech Cloud Solution, Nirali Nath from Get On CRM, Keyur Mania from Kirit Technologies, and Pradyuman Sharma from Kirit Technologies. Okay, so I'm good here. Like all the pronunciations and names and company names are correct, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So Brehan, you can proceed ahead.
Okay, so we will expect today from this meetup um, communication mindset, work culture, attentiveness, and knowledge. So we will go through each one of these phases together. Can you pass the slide? Yeah. Layout of meetup, knowledge, experience, work ethics, cross examine. So each one of these like stages, we will go through some questions, sharing some experiences together with each other, and work ethics, cross examine. Okay. Okay, intro and past work verification. So right now we're going to share some of our experience together, but let me just tell you something. You have to raise your hand first, and the first one raising the hand will take the chance to answer the question. However, if someone like raise the hand after the first one, so they can like tell different story or add to the first speech, like not repeating. Okay.
Is it clear to everyone till here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like the first thing is like this is just a single rule which is said, that is like in the further questions, like this is the intro part. The first slide is the intro part, so you all will get a chance to give the intro. But in the further questions where you will ask some competitive questions, there you need to raise the hand, and like all the three people who raise the hand will get a chance for the answer. The first one will get a chance to give its explanation, and the second and third person cannot repeat the same. They have to counter or give new thing, or they have the same thing, then they should say like I don't have anything to add. We good here?
Yeah.
Okay, so here
Okay.
is the first slide. Yeah, Brehan.
Okay. So this is like which is your biggest project you have developed? And I saw like someone raise the hand. I think Akib,
Yeah,
right?
so
He was the first
he
one.
can,
Yeah.
yeah, he can start.
Okay.
So just adding in it, you need to provide your bit intro, your past experience, like how you came into technology, what was your history in it, and some of your past work detail in it. Okay.
Okay. So yeah, thank you guys. Hi everyone. This is Akib. So currently I'm working in this Salesforce as a technical support engineer. So I started my career as an Android developer back in 2019, and then I got a chance to get introduced to the Salesforce technology in the year of 2000, uh, 2020. Yeah. Then I did a small internship in one of the startup, and then I did a full-time job in one of the small company named by Scepter Software. So the company was totally focused on Salesforce technology, and there I got a good chance to work in the R&D side, and I contributed in developing one of the application that is present in the App Exchange with the name 200 OK. The That is the one of the major project in Salesforce platform that I have done. So the product totally focused on the integration, REST integration from that is a native application that we have developed over there. So that is the thing. And recently, I've switched my job, and I'm now working in the Salesforce as a technical support engineer developer.
Yeah. Thanks, Javed. Just for everyone, kindly keep your intro short to 15 second or something like that. Give the niche thing here. So Pradyuman, you can be the next one.
Yeah, okay, thank you. So I'm Sachin and I started my Facebook journey around in 2020 and since then I've worked on SFCC and SFDC and uh, can I share my project also right now? Uh, uh,
You are not audible clearly, Pradyuman.
uh, is it fine now?
Not much. Just check your audio. Meanwhile, you can give your intro in that.
Okay. Am I audible clearly?
Yeah,
Okay. So hi guys, I'm Kayur and I'm also a Salesforce developer. I know administrator too, but mostly I work on development side. So I'm working on Salesforce development last from past 4.5 years, and I also worked in Classic and Lightning both. I worked on integration also. I worked on community also.
that's good. That's good. Yeah, Abhishek, you can be the next one.
Hello everyone, I am Abhishek and I am a Salesforce developer in iTech Cloud. And it has been 2 years that I am working with Salesforce, and I am good with Apex, LWC, Aura.
Yeah, that's good. Nirali, you can be the next one.
Yeah, hello everyone. I am Nirali. So I have been working as a Salesforce developer since 3+ years. I have developed Apex class triggers, batch classes. I have experience in Aura components and LWC components. I have also experience working with admin side of the Salesforce. I am certified as platform developer one as well as admin, Salesforce admin. Thank you.
Thanks. Yeah, Pradyuman, you can give your intro again. Yeah.
Yeah, is it fine now?
Best.
Okay. So yeah, I started my journey in 2020, and since then I have worked on SFDC and SFCC, and I have certified in SFCC as a Commerce Cloud developer, and in with SFCC, I have mostly worked on SFDC only, like most projects on SFDC. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. Yeah. Moving on to Brian. I'm just starting the share screen. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is our first. Okay. You all can see my screen, right? Yeah. Yeah, Brian, you can
Okay.
do it. Yeah.
So at this phase, we will be checking your knowledge regarding this meetup. So we will be asking some questions like scenarios. You have 10 seconds to read the question and prepare your answer, and then you have to raise your hand to share the answer. Okay, and it's the same if you have like you will get the chance to share your answer to after raising your hand. If someone else raised their hand, so they have to tell like different story or share another answer. Okay. Okay, clear. Okay, you
Yeah.
can start sharing the first question now, Kapil.
Yeah, I can do. Just one thing, Brian, like as I am
Mhm.
showing on the main screen, I may not see who has raised the hand. So you may need to take care
Yeah,
of it because I can only see
yeah,
this.
sure.
Okay.
No worries.
So you guys can read the question yourself. Take 10 seconds and I start the timer. And then you just need to raise the hand and give the answers step by step. Okay. Okay.
Okay,
Javed.
so it's Nirali
Okay, Neil.
who raised the hand first.
Yeah, Neil. You can go.
You can go.
Yeah, so I think to check if value is there in the map or not, we should use the contains key method.
Okay. Javed, anything
Okay,
you
you
want to add
can.
in that? Yeah.
Yeah, you're muted.
Sorry. So yeah, so we need to check that whether the key contains key method, that what Nirali said, and after that, whatever value we are fetching, we need to check whether the value is null or not.
Okay, and someone,
Yeah.
the last one to raise the hand was Kiur Minya. I don't know if I'm just saying this right, but I'm sorry.
Okay, so I guess we are checking values here. So first we can get the values using get values method, and after that we can check if it will return list, and after from that list we can check if contains if value is there or not.
Sorry to interrupt, okay, we cannot directly do the get because we first need to check the contents key if you want to make a code robust, because if the key doesn't contains, then the code may crash.
We can directly get values using get values method, so it will return.
Now you can get the list of values, but not a specific value, right?
No,
So list of values
as
doesn't
per
make sense.
as per my understanding, I think we are checking if the value, if the integer is there or not in map values. So we are not checking, I think, keys. We are checking values.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Okay.
So the question which was contained to map contain given values in FX Salesforce. So Digwendra, are you also in the call and are you able to speak?
Yep, I am.
Yeah.
So,
Any specific scenario you or question you want to keep in front, so maybe they get a correct way how we want to ask them this particular thing. Yeah.
right. So basically, the question was about how you will find out in a map. So while using a map, right? Sometimes when we used to have a map, at that time, first you have to put a checks, right? Whether you have a value or not. If you won't put that checks, then you will get into issues like null pointer exceptions and all, right? So that's why, as Nirali and Javed mentioned, that first you have to put a contains key check, which confirms that whatever key you are requesting for, that is available as a key, so that you won't hit a error message, right? And then you will go for a get method to get that value out. So that's the main thought behind this particular question, which means like how you follow the practices. So the best way to achieve that means, definitely, as Kayur mentioned, get is a method to get out values out of a map. But if you won't test that contains key, right, you will get into that null pointer exception if key is not available for which you are searching.
Okay.
So
Thanks for this explanation. The reason I asked Digvendra to give you this explanation is because the whole, this particular presentation or scenario we are doing from the client perspective. So try to be more elaborated, try to give something before, something after, and also give reason for your particular point. Like why you are thinking this should happen or why you are thinking this should happen. Because all these questions are came from the public domain. So these are the scenarios and every point have some pro and pros and everything which you need to give. Are we good here? Everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Kapil, just wanted to add one thing. Like you said that the question will be like we will get the question, we'll be getting a 10 second of time, right? So if it is possible, what I request is you don't change your screen because it's related to the code. So as a developer, we all need to
I got it.
reiterate that.
Yeah, it
Okay,
is on me. It is on me. Okay, okay. I got your point. Yeah. So, Brian, we can proceed to the next one.
Yeah, please. Okay, you have also 10 seconds to read the question and prepare your answer. Please don't forget to raise your hand. Okay, you can see that Nirali is the first one. Go ahead, please.
Yes. So to create a record for web store network object, we should write code like web store network, then the name of the object variable, let's say test web store is equal to new web store, then round braces, then semicolon. And then we should provide the details. So if I have named the variable as test web store, then I should assign the fields values to it. So I would write test web store dot let's say web store ID. So I will assign some ID. Then I'll write insert test web store.
Okay.
Thanks for the
Thank you.
information. Yeah.
Akib, do you have like something to add?
Yeah, so I would like to add more into the what the Nirali said. That is correct. But the thing is that this is the thing that we are trying to cover up the we are doing the test coverage, right? So for that reason, as you see in the query, it is with security info. So we have to take into the consideration. Like first, we need to create a user, and then we need to check the profile, which user is going to have the access to this particular record, which is stored in the web store network and in the context of that user, so we'll write that system dot run as in the context of that user. So what I mean to say is in the test class we have to create one user, then we need to assign this user to a particular profile. Okay, and if it is not in the profile, if it is in the permission set, that is the another story, but I'm keeping it as simple. Let's say in the profile the access is given to a particular profile, so we need to assign the user to that particular profile, and whatever Nirali said, that particular code should be written into a block. The block should start with system dot run as and the user that we have created just above. So that when we run this one, so when we run this particular test class, so with this with security info whatever is there, it will get that record whatever we have inserted in the test class. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Can we move to the third one?
Sure.
Okay, guys, 10 seconds.
This look good to everyone, I think. Okay, good to go.
No one raised a hand.
Oh,
Okay,
at least.
Akib just did. You can go.
Yeah, so I'm not like I haven't faced this one, but I think we can use the escape character.
Okay. As no one has said, so Digvinder, do you have any thought in this?
Okay, I think someone else, like Kair.
I also think like escape single quotes we can use. I've checked with the single quotes, but I haven't checked with the end operator.
Okay.
Shall
So
we move?
like the ideal problem is like the query that is defined, it is in the query params, and in the query params the default separator is the ampersand. But the problem is that in our query the ampersand is being used. So the system may get confused whether this ampersand is inside the query or it is the query params separator. So I believe a escape character will work. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, Brian, do let me know if I need to move to the next one.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay, start.
Okay, guys, 10 second done. Did anyone raise? How is it?
No, not yet.
Uh,
Nirali, you can go.
Yeah, so in my previous project, we faced this issue that multiple users, multiple developers were working using the same credentials to deploy the code or retrieve the code. That's why it was getting slow as it was hitting the limit. So we can assign different users different profiles or assign different credentials to different developers.
Okay.
Okay. Anyone else has something to add?
Uh, yeah, so the question what is asked is not the direct answer that I think Nirali has given. She has given a solution about the thing, the scenario, but the question is asking about is there a way to debug what is happening? Like what you have said is you must have tried like different developer having the different users, and then the issue is fixed. But can we really come to down to some debug statement or anywhere else? Like either we can see in some console log something, because I don't have any idea. So I just wanted to know if anybody is having that. Because what we usually do when it is not happening, we are terminating the process and then we are retrying again, right? We may be thinking that the internet is slow or maybe the server issue. So I also don't know about this one. So I just wanted to add if anybody knows. Thank you.
Okay. Like KU, Pradyuman, Abhishek, anything you want to reply to this, or his question what he asked? Because try to understand, this meetup is not something to race or something. This is just to showcase your thing and grow up your knowledge and show that to the public, and then it will be used in that way around. So do participate.
Yeah, yeah, Kapil. So this is general issue as a developer, but it is not like mainly focused. We just as Akib said, we just do either terminate the terminal or just close the VS Code only and then again try it.
Okay, no issue. So I move to the next one, Behan.
Yeah.
So guys, 10 seconds starts. Now this is also a specific scenario, so I hope you guys all can participate. Done. Just to explain in this question, like there is the data, like millions of data in other CRM, which we have to take in Salesforce, but we have to keep, and in that particular data, there is multiple date and time fields with their different time zones. And now while transferring here, we need to keep the same format of time zone. Time zone formatting is important. Yeah.
Okay,
Proceed.
Akib, you can go ahead and start.
Give me a minute. I just want to rethink. Thank you.
Okay, Abhishek, you can go.
In the data loader, we can set up the time zone.
Okay. So how this data loader is exactly working and how it will help to keep the same time format and everything when we load from other to this one.
Sorry.
Like you mentioned, like we have to keep the same time zone in data loader. Okay. So is there any other, like, can you just brief it out, like how this thing is going to work out or something like that?
I'm not get your point.
Okay, no issue. Like I got your point, and like that's fine. Like you mentioned, like in the data loader, we have to keep the same time zone and format, so it will keep right. Yeah. Anything else like Nirali and
Yeah.
yeah.
So I uh, I- I'm not getting the date and time field thing, but to enter data into Salesforce from any other external platform, either we can use this data loader, or we can use there is an node module by Salesforce only, JS Force, by which we can also import data into Salesforce.
Okay, so just 1 minute. Let me explain the question. Basically, while doing a data loading, right?
Yeah.
Your system time zone may differ, whereas your Salesforce org, your customer Salesforce org has a different time zone, right? Now, what is requested here is that you are fetching a date and time field values from a different CRM system, but your customer expect that similar date and time, what exists in that CRM system for a record, that should be while uploading that data, it should match the exact time, date and time which they have in that system, right? Now, what happens when we usually data loads? If we don't take care of certain parameters, when you try to load this data, at that time, Salesforce adjusts the time frame based on against which user you are uploading, what is your system time zone in which you are doing that, what is your Salesforce org time zone. So there are certain factors which needs to be taken care while doing this data upload. So did anybody come across this scenario where you have to maintain that system, that you have to do exact same data load of date and time fields, so you have to manage certain parameters so that it won't change? Basically, it should not malfunction while doing a data load, because that's the very key feature while doing a data load.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your comment. Kapil, can you just move to the next slide?
Sure.
Thank you. Okay, guys, 10 seconds. And please don't forget to raise your hand.
10-second done.
Okay, anyone?
Anything you know about emails, messaging, the target object?
Akib, you can go.
Yeah, so regarding this email thing, I think that depends upon the license the user is having, and depending upon the license, they have a limit for a per day email that they can send. So if the email is the limit is this, they can wait for the time. Either they can wait for next day. Okay, so they can send it again on the next day, or they either they can connect with the Salesforce support team. So they may get the support, or they may like there's some kind of facilities wherein they can add in the limit that they are reaching, so that can be increased. So that is what is my understanding.
Okay. Anyone like want to add anything?
Mhm.
Don't worry, guys. There are a couple of more questions are there. So do participate, everyone, and try to show whatever point, knowledge, or thing you have for that topic, or anything you come across while reading of your past work.
Okay. Next one.
This is the next one. The 10-second has started. Sorry. Ten-second done. Anything regarding email template? KU, Pradyuman?
Anyone?
I think the issue here is domain name. So I think we can remove that my domain dev self sandbox, and we can use the uh, from backend we can use one URL variable like get Salesforce based URL, and in the curly braces we can use that domain name here. So if it's a different type of domain, so it will catch up that one.
Okay.
Anyone else?
Yeah, I do agree with KU. That is my that is going to be my approach also.
Okay. Kapil, can you just move to the next one and the final question, I guess?
Sure. 10 seconds started. Done. 10 seconds.
Okay, Brad, you can go.
So I haven't faced anything like this, but all I can say is we can add we can normally we call an API as we call an Salesforce metadata API. There would be a uh, endpoint for getting all the triggers names and their features, and then another callout would be for making that particular API, that particular trigger deactivated.
Okay, Nirali, you have something to add?
Yes, I think we can also use a custom setting. So I can create a custom setting, and then I can create a custom record in that. So I would use a Boolean value to display to show that if a trigger is activated or deactivated. And in the trigger, I would before running the exact code, I would check if that custom setting is activated or not. And in the LWC, we can change the value of that custom setting to active or true or false to activate or deactivate the trigger.
Okay, thank you. Kapil, can you
Uh,
just move to the next slide? Oh,
I just wanted to add, sorry to
yeah.
interrupt, but what Nirali has suggested is a really good thing. So I just wanted to know, here it is saying using the metadata API. So can we do, Nirali, whatever you have done, you have said, that is good. I just want to add that thing. Can we just activate or deactivate that thing in the custom setting using the metadata API, right? So that will ultimately fix using the API. If you can handle your custom setting, whatever you have said, if you can handle your custom setting using the API, ultimately that custom setting will handle the trigger, right? So
Yeah.
that will come up with the solution like together, we can do the control of the trigger using the API, metadata API.
Yeah, but
Can I
I
add that?
sorry sorry
Yeah, sure, sure,
yes,
sure.
but I think first of all, if we are using the metadata API, then we can directly send the data like this particular trigger needs to be deactivated or not by use custom settings. And if we are using custom setting, then we have to use multiple custom settings for each trigger, which will be having related like this trigger and this trigger name and the boolean value. So we have to create multiple custom settings for each trigger.
Yeah, correct, Radhiman. What you have said, I just forgot. Yeah, but now when you said that, I was just skeptic, whether do we have any field called as active or deactive for a Apex trigger using the metadata API. So I'm not aware of that thing. If you do have that thing, then whatever solution you are providing is a straightforward
Yeah,
solution. But what me and Nirali have just suggested, that's like a workaround.
yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. So are you sure there is something called as there is some field for all the Apex trigger as a active or deactive,
Yeah, there is
some
a
check
field,
that.
but
Do
I
we
don't
have?
know if we can access it in metadata API or not.
Okay, fine. I'll check that
Yeah,
in one
yeah.
later after this one. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you guys for your answers and opinions. Kapil, can you just move to the next phase, please?
Sure.
Okay, so experience. At this phase, we would be checking your past experience and past work. Okay.
One thing I just want to add, like you guys will get again 50 to 30 second only. So if you are to say, please mention the point very clearly in short and try to understand from client perspective. They should understand what you are saying. So don't try to be fast and give more detail. Give good points so they can grab and get the attention which you want from them. Okay. So whichever person will want to start can raise the hand and like they can answer.
Yeah, if you have any previous experience related to this one, you can just raise your hand to share it with us.
Yeah. In this overall, what we want you to say, like, did you have worked in App Exchange, any app or any web portal? Like, did you have worked anything which is available free for public to use? Maybe you have worked for the client and that is available for free for public to use. So that is almost like a public domain. So if you have something like that, that is great and awesome. Or if not, then also if you have done something regarding or near about, you can explain that.
Akib, you can go.
Yeah, guys, so thank you. So it's like I have worked for the application that I've mentioned in my intro. The product name is 200 OK, which is an integration tool, but that is not free for public use. So that's a completely a company property and rights. So the application is mainly, see, as a developer, we all know integration is the you can say a heart of uniting the different systems, right? So no system can exist independently. So we need some or the other tool. So like people in the real world, they mostly go with the Make. Previously, it was called as Integromat or the MuleSoft. So what the two of the example that I have taken that are not native to the Salesforce. So I worked in a project which develops similar kind of product for the integration. The tool is a no code tool where you can just create a configuration to integrate various system, and the main advantage is that the tool is a native tool. That means that it totally resides inside your Salesforce org. So this is the while developing this product, I really appreciate the effort of the architect and the company. They have really put a good idea onto that one, and that's all my experience when it comes to my work experience. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Akib.
Anyone else want to say anything, contribute on it? Have done anything on App Exchange or any web portal which is like live, maybe private, maybe public?
No one raised a hand.
Okay, no issue. That's happened.
Okay.
Should I move to the next one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so if you have any complicated or challenging experience, any challenging scenario happened previously with a client or something.
Yeah. So I request all the guys who has not spoken in the past question, those guys do participate, do share some of your experience, like anything you have, and don't worry, like something challenging for you, don't think it is not challenging for others. Everyone has their own positive and negative, so do share your thoughts so people can know you. Yeah. So
Okay, have Akib and Brady just share the hand.
I think so, Akib, you have spoken in the past in this question also, right?
Yeah.
So I think so, Akib, let's keep this for others. We got, like, you have worked in one of the good app, and we have some other questions for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brady, you can go.
Yeah. So as I was mentioning the JS thing, which is a node-based library, so I worked on that. The line requirement was to maintain multiple sandboxes connected. So there was a parent production org which has multiple sandboxes, and which needs to be connected with via a chat-based bot. And for this we have implemented our AWS server as the middleware, and in which we were just using this node based library and sharing data to this middleware, and then the middleware was passing all the data to the either the childs, or if the call is from child, then the endpoint was the production. Or
Okay. Thanks.
yeah.
Okay, Brady, thank you. Nirali, you have something to share?
Yes. So in one of my projects, the client had a requirement to bulk load the data on a regular basis to Salesforce from a third API. So I had created a batch class, written a batch class to create, make an integration with of third API to Salesforce. But the major challenge that I faced in there was that firstly that they were sending bulk of data Also, they were having multiple APIs. So to enter the details into Salesforce, I had to call multiple APIs from that. So I had to write two batch classes. So one would call the bulk data API, and the other batch would call for each of the records that the bulk API sent. So the second batch would call for that.
Okay, makes sense.
Thank you.
They,
Abhishek or
yeah,
Clear, do you have something to add? Just maybe like you had a previous project you failed in, or maybe you had something like a challenge or maybe angry client.
yeah. Here you can
Any?
also share like if some situation happened where client has expected something that didn't came up and how you manage it.
Yeah.
Abhishek, you can also contribute in this. So Keyur and Abhishek, are you going to say, like, are you speaking or should I move to next one?
Can you hear us?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So talking about the complicated project, so I had one project like I was getting some files from other party, and I was at the same time I was also sending some emails with the attachments, and that attachment also was coming from the third party. So it was so much complicated, like Salesforce has too much restrictions, like you can do DMLs and call outs sending files to get together. So there was some requirements like get some files, store in Salesforce, do some DMLs, and at the same time I want to send some emails with the attachments. So it was complicated, like still it has some issues. I haven't fully completed yet, so that's the complicated part I face.
Thanks for contributing.
Okay.
I'm sharing the screen.
Yeah, please.
Guys, just want to let you know, like we have completed the 2 segment. Okay. Brehan will definitely give you more detail of the next 2 segments, but try to participate because the next 2 segments are going to be more easy and like it's that the core motive is not only to check how good you are, but the core motive is how you good communicate, how you manage the things, and how the whole scenarios are. Because you are working for an outsourced client, so it's like a complete package.
Exactly. And I just wanted to make sure that Abhishek is hearing us. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. That's perfect. Okay. So work ethics. So at this phase, we would like to see how you work and understand your work from client perspective. So we would like you to share the best work practices with us and how you are like to be creative, but from the client perspective.
Yeah, as Brehan told, all the next 3 questions are going to be a bit generic, but try to be a bit creative, a bit pointed something so people can understand like you have done something out of the box to handle this. Okay.
Okay.
So
Can you just move to the first situation or scenario, Kapil?
yeah.
Okay. Please read the question.
Like there are definitely governor limits are there, but any governor limits which you find by practicing, you thought like, oh, that I was not knowing but it came up, or you can share any of this type of experience also.
So yeah, so can I
But
speak?
do raise hand and speak, please. Maintain the
Yeah,
Yeah.
how Akib just did and Nirali
okay.
and
Thank you.
Clear.
Sorry. I'm not able to just see because I have this
Yeah,
whole screen.
I know.
Yeah, it's okay, totally fine. Kapil. Yeah, so
Sorry.
like Yeah, so I would like to add like the best practices or the governor limit that I faced. One of the governor limit in my project I faced was related to the queuable. So it's like when you are from a main thread, you can add 50 queues, but from a queuable thread, you can add only one more queue. So you cannot branch that thing. So what happened is recently I was practicing this one and I was doing some kind of research or a POC kind of thing, and then I happened to see one of the a loophole I can say in a batch apex. So what I want to communicate here is in the batch apex, whenever we see that we have a start method, a execute, and a finish method, right? So in the start method it is always said that you need to do a query and you need to return a iterable or a query locator, right? So what is happening is what how we usually use batch apex is like we do some kind of query in the start method, and that whatever is the list of the data that is being extracted by the SOQL query is being passed to your execute method, and it is being operated depending upon the batch size that you have defined. So what I did is like in my queuable class. Okay, so I have written a queue. Okay, inside the second thread, what I did was wherever when I was getting that too many queues, that is a governor limit. Okay, like you cannot queue more than two jobs from a queued thread. So what I did, I added a batch apex, and instead of doing a query in my start method, what I did, I created a setter. Okay, a list of objects into my batch apex. From here, I set that data. And from my start method, instead of querying and returning the thing, I just returned the list of object, whatever was set. And by using the combination of the batch and apex, I was able to come up with this governor limit, whatever I press. So I applied to my particular project, what I did in my last company. And also one of the other team lead that came to me and asked that they were also facing this particular issue in their client's org. So I just gave him a workaround, okay, and thankfully it's been like 5 months and nothing has crashed after that. So this is the one of the thing that I faced, and that was the governor limit, and I was able to come up with some of the I can say jugaad or something.
Okay,
Thank you.
that's good. Thanks for the detail.
Okay, Nirali, you can go. The second one.
Yes. So apart from the basic uh, code practices that we follow in Salesforce, I have learned to keep a habit of using the PMD tool for Apex. So in my previous project, I have learned that. So this is a tool that we can install in Salesforce. So whenever I hit save to my Apex classes or JS files, it would automatically show me the errors, the uh, let's say for example the unused variables or the multiple if else ladders used, multiple nestings, so it would give the limit.
Okay, good.
Okay, perfect. Kair, you can go.
So recently I came with the strange governor limits. So I was using SOSL. So basically, we use SOSL for the searching records in the Salesforce. So I know limit is 2000. We can get max 2000 search records, but it for only like one object. So if we search in two objects, like I'm searching string in account and contact both. So for the account, it will return max 1000 records, and for context, it will return max 1000 records. So how it if we use two objects, it divides into two. If we use four objects, it divides into four, like 1000 divided by four. So for one object, it will, if we are using four, so it for one object it will return max 500 records. So that was very strange. And there was another also in SOSL only. Sometimes it returns only 250 records, but I log a case with support, so he told me we have to use like some sort by anything sort by, so it will return more records. So these are some strange limitations in SOSLs. I just recently came up.
Thanks for sharing it.
Thank you. Brad, please go ahead.
Yeah, so It is not a governor limit, but I've got to know about index fields. These fields will be queried from uh, from the database with, by more fast way in more fast way rather than other fields. It will be shown in the object manager only, and it is a efficient way to like query records.
Okay,
Okay, thank you guys. Kapil, can you just move to the next slide?
sure.
Okay, there is a new situation regarding deadlines.
Yeah, here what client want to understand, like everyone misses deadline that happen. It can be the mistake of a client, it can be the mistake of the requirement or us, and you might have came across that. So like anything that has happened, so how you handle that, like any creative way or any way you have managed this particular situation till now in your past experience.
Yeah, any previous experience with tight deadline or you missed the deadline, how you handled the situation, how did happen?
Don't think like showing negative thing will give you a bad impression, but if you can commit it, yeah.
Okay, Kier, you can go.
So recently, I had suppose I have lots of work and I had deadline in coming 2 or 3 days. So it was impossible for me to complete that one in 2 or 3 days. So I asked client if you can just I will do some extra, and if you can do some if you can extend some deadline, so I will do some extra from my side and you can do from some extra deadline, postpone some deadline. So
Like communicating properly would
yes,
work out for you. Yeah,
yes.
that's good.
Okay, Akib, go ahead.
Yeah, so I don't have a really client side exposure, but what do I have a manager side exposure? So I have to deliver in my team, I was the one responsible for creating the package and delivering the same for the release in the app exchange. So are deadlines. So before that, see what I do is first of all, if my manager in the start of the sprint he is assigning me the task, so I on my side I judge myself like what and all I can deliver. It's not like I don't want to do the fake promise to my manager. So first of all, only I will take a buffer time like 1 to 2 days. Okay, because it's not about me, it's about my team as well. So after that, even though if I miss a deadline, then I do make sure that I'll work in the late night, and if possible, if needed, I will work on the weekend to meet the deadline. Or if it not, then compensate it. So that's all
Okay.
my experience was. Thank you.
Thank you, Akib. Nirali, you can go.
Yes, I agree with what Keyur and Javed said. We can clearly communicate with the client prior once we get to know that this may get delayed. Also, Javed mentioned that we can work extra time. Also, if we are working in a team, I think we can also get help from one of the team members to divide the work.
Okay, thank you, guys. Kapil, please move to the next one.
Sure.
Thank you. Project documentation. Please take your time and read the question.
Do share what methods you follow now, and if you have created your own method or something which really help your client or something, do share some, out of the box thing also in get a link.
Okay, Akib, you can start.
Yeah, so for the document, previously I used to use the Google Doc, but now after getting into Salesforce, I would like to suggest everybody to use Quip. So the main thing is that you can have a full-fledged access to many of the tools, and like you can integrate charts, bullets very easily. It is very easy. to create documents in the Quip. And what I see as a practice inside the Salesforce, they also prefer Quip for their documentation. And regarding the documentation, like when I create, like in my previous company, like my CEO told me while creating the document, I have to think like a layman. Like I don't know what is this. If a layman can understand my document, then a developer or a person who is going to use this one, he surely can. So what and all screenshots if you can add, that is going to be really good. Okay, when you are referring to something, and if there is resources or link to justify your uh, statement, you can add that thing as well. And that's it. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. Brad, you're next.
Yeah, so I completely agree with Javed. You can add as much as screenshots and as much as resources because they are more helpful. And you can first let's say if this is an KT document, so you can define every possible or every many thing to that document for the other developer and for the client also to to know so they can understand it properly.
So are you guys are
Thank you.
using anything like as he mentioned, they are using Keep. What you guys are using?
uh Actually, I just joined, and before this my previous company was using their own templates for everything, even for KD document also, and for POC also they were using their own templates.
Okay. Nirali, Abhishek, and KU,
Yeah,
you guys.
Nirali wants to add something.
Yes, apart from creating documents, in my one of my projects, I had created videos for clients. So when I was leaving the project, there was some process that they needed to follow on regular basis. So we recorded videos on Loom to and shared with them to make the process easier for them in the future.
That's good. Came a bit extra. Good.
Okay. Thank you, Nirali. Please, Kapil, move to the next slide.
Okay. So guys, we like everything will be explained by Brehan, but just we are in the last phase and we just need next 7 to 10 minutes of this. Yeah.
Yeah, please. So this phase cross-examination, actually, it's for everyone. You can like take your time around like 20 seconds just to prepare your question. You can share it with us, and everyone has like the chance to answer the question, and you can share your own answer just to express your knowledge.
Just adding what Brehan said, like this is one of the excited segment of this from my perspective. Okay, and I will here, Abhishek, I will start from you. So,
Yeah, please.
so you will have some time, like 30 second, 40 second. You take prepare something for your these all the counter colleagues who are there in the call. So you will ask a question, and these people are open to answer. Again, you need to raise the hand and answer. The motive is to understand how good you can go and how good they can answer. Here, the one clue I can give, like if you are doing some live project and if you have some tough situation and you may want to ask here, so it will be easy and you can manage two things here. Like you may get a solution and you may see the knowledge of the other. Okay, so
Okay.
Okay,
your
clear to everyone?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And please don't forget to raise your hand.
okay. So the 30 seconds started. You guys can prepare, and definitely it will be tough for you guys to show the code and everything. So do prepare some verbal question or something right now. Or if you want to share the screen, then that's a different scenario.
Okay, you have around 30 seconds. Okay. Nirali, you can go ahead and share with us your question.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
okay, Nirali is starting, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Nirali, what is the question? You can speak. I will try to write it up. Yeah, for everyone.
Yeah, so if the client's requirement is to add filters in the related list that we generally use related list in on the record pages. Let's say I want to add filters to it, then what can be the solution?
Everyone understood the question? I was not fast in the typing. So did everyone got the question?
Nirali, if you could please like repeat it again.
Yeah, so we generally use the standard related list of Salesforce to record pages, right? If contact has a related account, so on the accounts record page, we can show the related contacts. Now the client wants to when let's say there are 2,000 contacts related to one account, and when I'm searching a contact and when I'm opening a account record and I need to find a particular contact record, so from the related list I need to have some filters. Let's say if I type the contact name, it should appear on the top.
Yeah, so you can use there is a option in where you create the relationship with the other object. So you can use there's a filter criteria option, so you can use that. It is
So
in the like if the objects are account and contact, so the uh, relationship field would be on a contact, so you can edit that field, and at the bottom of that page you will see a option of field criteria something, so you can use that, and by that you will see all the records that needs to be fetched.
okay, so that would work for custom objects and all the
Yeah,
fields for
yeah, it
if
is
I
a
want to search for any particular status.
yeah, it is field specific and related, like it is a relation ship option. So in every relationship, you will find this option.
Okay. I'm not sure because I faced this requirement and I had to install some application from App Exchange. So
Uh,
Salesforce wasn't allowing to create filters on the related
uh,
list.
And it
w-
worked for you, Nirali? After installing the application, it worked for you?
Yes, yes. So
Okay.
that is an application called Enhance Related List.
Mm-hmm.
So that worked.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
like what
Perfect.
Abhiman is saying, that is what I'm agreeing with because you can still check that thing if you go back to that relationship field in the contact and you can edit. You will get that add filter option at the bottom. So I think that will work.
Okay, I'll check it once.
Okay.
I
So,
can show you if you want. I'll like share the screen and show you.
We will have a group also. Like we will
Okay.
create our community group. So you can definitely put this point here and tag Nirali on that. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Good.
next, I think so. But yeah, the share screen point was good. So you guys also can see the share screen button on your computer, right? So if anyone, instead of verbally saying, if anyone want to write it in anywhere and share the screen, they are totally open. Okay. So who want to go next?
Uh,
Abhishek, do you have your question prepared?
Yes.
Please go ahead.
Okay. The client requirement is in the insurance domain, they want to create a application, right? In the data collect during the data collection time, they wants to stay application in the draft. We don't want to create child records. So at that time, they want to store all the JSON like what I can say, all the data collection data they want to store in the one JSON field. Sorry, not JSON field. In one text area field.
Okay. Is the question clear for everyone?
Yes. So what if text area field limit exceeds?
I think Akib has an answer.
No, sorry, I raised the hand for my question, but the question is not clear, Abhishek. Can you
Okay,
come again,
just
please?
okay. Mm,
I think I understood. Can I like explain?
Yeah, please do.
Yes,
okay.
Brad,
Yes.
go ahead.
So there is an external API which is sending some data in JSON format, which needs to be stored in a text area field. So
Yes.
he's asking if when the data is coming like multiple times, so we are just appending the data into that particular field, and this field has a limit of characters. So when what happens if the data if the character limit is exceeded, so what needs to be done for that? So like my answer for that would be, if the JSON data like needs to be used like after uh, a certain point, then you can remove that particular data from this field and like reuse this field again and again, or else you can either encrypt it also, so it gets like uh, small in size, and then you can use it.
Okay. So
Okay.
Abhishek, you got the
Akib, you have something.
yeah. Sorry, Brehan, you
You
can
have.
go.
It's okay.
Yes.
Akib, you have something to add?
Yeah, I just want to get it clarified again. Like Abhishek, the question is like, suppose I have some REST API or some external API. If I'm making a call, let's say it is giving me a country name, right? Let's say it's give me India first time. So I need to store India in one of the fields. The second time I make a call, it gives me, let's say, Sri Lanka. Then I had to add India plus Sri Lanka into that one. Is that the question?
Yes.
And your question is
Yes.
like, if the see like for the text area long, we have 1,31,072 characters. That is the maximum character that is
Yes.
supported. So now your question is like, if that thing exceeds, let's say I'm adding, keep on adding these strings, and the character exceeds from that size. Let's say you have defined a text area long with a 10,000 character. So what this thing I have faced in my project, because I was working in that tool, and the response can come of any size. So in the we didn't thought about the worst case scenario, and we just kept on adding the responses that we are getting. So one day what happened, that we got a response which has a string character more than, like let's say it was like 2 lakh characters, which exceeds, which the Salesforce cannot support. So that time the code got crashed, and we really was not able to, means, think about it, how what was the cause. So after that, what we did, like suppose I am going to use, you are saying in some field. So you are going to create that field, you are going to define the size of that field. Let's say 10,000, correct? While creating, you must be knowing what is the field size, one of the way. So when you are getting a response at that time, you can check the size character. If it is greater than 10,000, either you can substring and use that one, or you can add a message that the size is greater than the field size. So this way your your code will not crash. That is what I think is good. Thank you.
Abhishek, do you have any comments or you would like to answer the question?
Like Abhishek, you are good with the situation. You understood?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, that's good. That's good. The motive was you should get the point because you know the question, so the answer you need to set. Anyone next? Who is the next?
I think Brad had something to add and he just lowered the hand after that.
No,
I'm
he
not
got the point. That's
Okay.
fine with me.
Okay.
sure. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah.
Kair, do you have your question prepared?
Yes. So my requirement is like a simple. Okay. I have added one utility component, Salesforce in Salesforce utility, And from the utility button, I have from utility component, I have one button like whatever, like add or save something. And on that click of that button, I want to open one another component in right center of that screen. So like, is there any way?
Okay, is the question clear for everyone? Brad, you can go.
Yeah, so like there's the standard pop-up model feature by Salesforce. If you use that, you can like it will by default open the component or the pop-up model in center of the page only.
No, from utility, it won't open center in center.
Uh,
It will
like
open in center of that component, not the center of the screen.
oh, okay, 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 okay. Okay.
Anyone?
Smart question. Should I move to next one? Who prepared next?
Okay.
Can we get the answer, Kayur?
Okay, so there is no direct way. For utility, we have to set a component. So there we have to set Aura component, and Aura component we can import some overlay library, which will open the utility. We can open the another component, like create one component from that Aura component, which will open this that component in center of this.
Okay, yeah, thank you. That makes sense.
Thank you, Kier. So, who has the next prepared question? Brad, you can go.
Yes, so I don't have any specific requirement, or what I just wanted to know if is there anyone who like knows either the consultant stuff or an architect stuff, like how to manage the whole project or how to like create a data model for any project, like kind of a best practice for data model or anything.
Did you got the question, everyone?
Yeah, I did that. And that's a very good question and a big answer required for that.
Like this is the thing. Like smartness need a edge.
Can I add?
Okay. Anyone wants to share?
Yeah, Akib wants to share.
Yeah, can I add? So, like,
Yeah.
see, I am working in the Salesforce for the Salesforce technology. Alongside, I'm also a Spring Boot developer working with Flutter in my free time. So, like, see, I just wanted to add, like, you are talking in the terms of an architect level, right? So it's like you are asking about developing a project and you are asking the like requirements, what and all will be there, how to design the model, considering the project for a like let's say to have a vision of a 1 or 2 years ahead, how you are going to see that thing. Accordingly, you need to design that thing. Okay. So first of all, so what I will suggest is like the data modeling part that you have said, that is the most crucial part, and I think that is the place where any developer or the architect needs to put their most of the efforts and their intelligence. Why I'm saying this, like currently I'm doing one personal project that is in a Spring Boot. So I have designed a model, I've done my backend coding, I was doing a Flutter coding, I was like good, and then suddenly I got to know that I missed one thing. And whatever I have in my model as a field, I should be having a junction object. Okay, let's in terms of let me give an example. I have a product and I have a price. So what I did is I created a price field in the product table, right? But later on I understood that other vendor selling the same product will have a different price. So all in all, I need to change my model. So for that, it took me like to create the model, it took me 1 week. To change the model, it took me another 1 week. But after changing the model, I need to change my backend code. Then I need to change my front end code. So that is the one point that I wanted to add. Like whenever you are working for any project, okay, and first we need to design the model. See, we cannot design a model how it's going to be in after 2 years, but we should design a model so that we can take it up to 2 years. Understand my point? So
Yeah.
that is the main consideration that we need to keep. Once the model is okay, because changing the code is easy, but changing the model is a hectic thing.
Yeah.
So that's what I wanted to add. Thank you.
Yeah. Got it.
Okay. Thank you, Akib. And you can share your own question as well because it's
Yeah,
only you
so
now.
yeah, so I would
Niran
like to
also
share
there.
this question, but I don't expect anybody can answer. Why? Because this is the thing that I faced with my client. Okay, and I would like to. I'll just give the time, and later on I will give my solution so that it will help most of us. So the thing is that I was sitting. I would like to take 10 minutes time. Is it okay for everyone?
No, it will be too long. Try.
Too long.
Yeah, you just
Okay,
have to be really quick.
okay.
Yeah.
I'll get in a twist. What happened is I was in a meeting. I was the developer. I had a project manager, I had a client. The project manager promises the client about something, what I'm going to explain, which is not really possible. So what happened is that I'm coming to the question directly. So suppose you have a two of the external API. Okay. You have to make a call to the first API. If you get a success message, then you call the second API. If you get a failure message after 15 seconds, you make a call. You have to try this 3 times. After 3 times also, if you are getting a failed message, leave it. But within these 3 times or 15 seconds, if you get a success message, you make a second API call. So what I'm trying to say is this is very easy in Java. Like we have a timer and we have a multi-threading, but we need to do this thing in Apex. So how anybody can do that, and that to be automatic. Not it's like not you create a button and after every 15 seconds you're pressing the button. It should be pragmatically. Like you should make a call out to first one as soon as you get a response. If it is success, you make a second call out. If it is a failure, wait for 15 seconds, again make the first call out. If it is failure, again make the first call out. This is the question.
Okay. Is it the question clear to everyone?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is good.
Akib, is this an LWC part or just the Apex part only?
Just the
I
Apex part.
think Apex. The 15-minute waiting is the 15-second waiting is the tricky part.
Yeah. So, like, if we could make it to LWC, then we can just like send
You can
the
use that Java and JavaScript. You have all the timer and sleep, right?
yeah,
But you don't have
yeah,
sleep and timer in Apex. That's the
yeah,
Yes.
challenging part. And that was my manager promised to the client in front of me.
Okay.
okay.
So I think so. Akib, uh, uh, and do you have the answer of this also?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can proceed on that with the quick fix.
Yeah, so the quick answer is like, suppose when I'm making a first call out, as soon as I get a response, I'll create a scheduler and I'll schedule a job from now plus 15 seconds. And in my schedule job, I'll try to make the first call out again. And if it is failure, then it's like a recurring with a counter. If the counter is 3, then I will stop. If it is success inside my scheduler code, if the second time the call out is success, I'll call the second API. So the trick is in the scheduler. When you have to use the scheduler, you can use the scheduler with no adding the number of seconds or minute, whatever you want to iterate it again.
Okay.
Okay, is the answer clear for everyone?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, perfect.
So did Nirali participated in this?
Yeah,
Yes, she was the first. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. I one thing which I got like this got a bit lengthy. I expected it to be done in 60 minutes, but I saw it went more 20 to 25 minutes. I will try to sharp it up. So now we are at the end. After this call, I will send you one link. Okay, that link will require some information from you. You don't need to do any other test or anything after this. You just need to provide certain of the verified detail. Number one, if you hold some certificates, do provide some information about those certificates which you have done. Second, if you have done some past work which you want to show into your profile, then you have to provide that detail of those past work, as well as some verification process that include the name of the client, the website of the client, the email address, so at least we can verify the claims which you are doing. So only the verified works would be added in your profile, and that also.